Greetings everyone, and Grid here with another Advanced Wars Daisy Rune Tiny Wars replay. Small on the south side as the dark gray Lyn, we got EvilAnge. Small on the north side, top left side as the red Will, we got Jeanbat13. Will is of course unchanged for the cartridge counterpart, has standard boarding cost, 2 radius, 30, 60, 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. Ground units get plus 1% offense, and of course gets plus 2 movement range when it comes to superpower. Lyn, of course, is also unchanged for cartridge counterpart, has standard boarding cost, 1 radius, 30, 60, 60. All units get plus 10, plus 10. All ground units get additional plus 20, plus 20. And of course, she does apply plus 2 vision and see-through hiding global. But this is not a fog war match, so she's also going to rely on just good generalist firepower. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport. Both players start off with a good number of properties there, which allows them to build bikes immediately. The bike infantry saves a bit of money there. Bike infantry. Both players saving a little bit of monies. Probably on to so get this factory going. Bike. And since it's also not like war, I want to always point out that ruins are no different than planes. They both offer 1 defense star, and they also provide the same negative movements and positive movements as planes. So in this map, ruins mean nothing. Do not just treat them exactly the same as planes. Do not think about it too much. Going to reach down and open up a tree. Of course, my chair is starting to creak. I always find the creaky chairs. My apologies about that. Does CO the bike there? Maybe a little bit too weak of a platform to CO. I can see tanks, I can see flares, I can see recons, but a bike might be a little bit too fragile for Lyn. Will has a bigger CO zone radius, so he can't be put on a cheaper unit like that himself. Makes sure to just try to push forward aggressively in this flank. The way got triple bike last turn. Tank, bike, infantry, probably gonna CO the bike or tank. That means Lyn probably should get a tank here, or maybe battlecopter. She does have 12,000. It would be a base skip to go for a battlecopter. Tank, bike. Will does seal the tank there. Does interrupt the capture and takes out the unit there. Gets the bike there. Bike and tank. Howdy. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Send me highs. Which is better than send me feet pics. Sure. Go right ahead. A good contingent of bikes here. Will has his command tank there. A lot of targets from both sides. Another tank over here. So Lyn has 2 tanks. Will has a second tank there. We do have a battlecopter pull out last turn. Tank, anti-air, and bike. Tank, bike. For Company Heroes 2 replays, it's straight from Live Games Lobby. Those games are actually just straight up live games, so I have no idea what they are when I click on them. The Spectate tab, in short, rather than the Replay tab. Sometimes I find some good ones, sometimes I find some bad ones. I try to split up the shorter length ones and put them on Sunday. That's where I tend to upload a bunch of, or schedule to release a bunch of not great replays. Of course, if you have any replays, I have my Gmail in description. Though I may want to change, see if you can't get that Gmail so adjusted. It's back when my channel was called that. Let's take out the bike there. Just want to flip that property there. Lens at 6 energy, wheels at 8 energy. Now this game has not been too bloody at the moment. Just a lot of bikes dancing around. Yep, like I said, the description, both on the live stream and on each of the videos, there's my Gmail. You can send me a file or a link to like kotu.org. That's at the bike there. Hits Lynn's command bike, and that one as well. Wheels with 29 energy. This is gonna get +1. Doesn't get +1 radius. Help with more shots down south. Battlecopter and Lynn's tank go down. That's quite important right now. Could seal this tank over here. We'll be able to reach so here, so we'll be out of range of everything though. Does get a shot there. Use the tank there, finish off the bike there, hits. Oh, does not hit the battlecopter. Plus 10% defense actually came in handy. 4% health remaining. Though to be fair, 1 health battlecopter is not as combat effective anymore. Just be an annoying thing to flap around the front of your opponent. Pulling back the airport is always a possibility. Good shots there. Will's at 57 energy, a significant amount to work with. And Will's making some good progress up north. Pulls back to his tank there, has a CO power available. Mech tank. With +2 movement range, these mechs can do a nice little sprint to start off the turn with the CO power. Lynn right now has 16,000 income, Will has 15. There's actually still a good number of despicable neutral properties on the field. Battlecopter makes way home, does pop the CO power now. Don't know how effective this one will be. Hits the bike, +2 movement range is quite a distance. Managed to strike the tank there. Okay, the CO power was very useful up here. Down south, tank reaches not all the way forward. Gets a good shot there. Hits that tank as well. Takes out that tank. Just softens up this formation. But Lynn's going to have a lot of things in range, to say the least. Puts a good round there. Good shot there, gets +1 radius. But Lynn's tank there could go down. Tank, and bike. Recon captures up the city. Not Recon, bike. Joins the bikes there, but that's still easy pickings. Does wait the battlecopter on top of the airport, you monster. Takes out the tank there. And then of course did lose a command tank this region. Takes out the wounded tank there. 8 health tank on top of the city, so if this tank is struck, it will be retaliated upon. Tanked artillery and commits base skip. Lin ends her turn of 71,000. Will starts turn of 60. Bike's putting some rounds in the tank there. Oh, even sacks, more or less sacks these tanks there. Up to 33 energy. Will's being hyper aggressive right now with all those tanks. Has a 3-of-kind of 2 health tanks. And if he had another tank that's maxed out vet, he will also have a straight of tanks with the unvetted vet 2, vet 1 CO tank and a max vet tank. And since it'll be a guess it'll be a straight flush. Okay, so the tank there. All these things fall back. Needs a decent amount of repairs. Will is at 36 energy. Artillery. Another tank. Oh. Did that artillery not move? Am I crazy? Maybe there's a time limit in this game in which both player may have run out of time. Not sure. Tank, infantry. I don't see time limits, so I don't know what's the status on all that. Something that Tiny Wars does not really have on the replay browser of viewing times. Does the bike up north? Tank, bike. Got a pretty good core of tanks there. Goes at 45 energy. Lin, of course, does offer a bit of a wall break capability, but she really needs +1 CO power to go across diagonals in order to help reach this right here. Because if you were to move here, attack this tank here, this zone will not be highlighted until she gets +1 CO zone. In this case, she's able to strike 2 points, finish off that unit there, and able to push forward that way. May have been better go for that one. Probably. Though it's still not really a bad title. It's definitely the weaker titles, that's for sure. Tank, bike, and infantry. Does put the superpower. Does hit the tank there, hits the tank. Looks like Will's tanks are blitzing the way forward. It's the bike of the bike heading up north, capturing that property. Will's starting to make a bit of a clean sweep overall, feels like. Good shots there. Mech gets good striking on the command tank. Sneaks around, hits the anti-air. Yep. Yeah, sorry if I would have misconstrued something. Battlecopter, infantry. I'd sort of agree with you. It's not a bad game, just like I said, a weak game. Does hit the tank there, hits the tank there. Though I don't know if we'll ever see another Advanced Wars game, a new title. Because it seems like a lot of the game developers just don't want to make strategy games anymore. Strategy games are really falling off. Strategy games in general. The only games that seem like it's doing strong right now because strategy games probably Stellaris. Yeah, the funny thing is, yeah, they didn't really offer big challenges when it comes to villains. Like, they didn't do, like, overwhelming odds. I mean, the final mission was a split-screen battle where you had a bunch of slow-moving targets that you just had to focus on one at a time. It was not a challenge. Tank bike. After all, and also not to mention most of the COs in that game were the new COs, just most of them were not very memorable. Well, at least the one was bad guy COs. Jugger was just a more chaotic black. Cole was just a variation of Adder. Kindle was actually something a little bit unique. Von Bolt never had a map that really synergized with him all too well, because you don't get power charge for destroying or not destroying a Uzium, if I remember correctly. Maybe it did, I can't remember. But even then, it seemed like those COs never really got persona that personality, because there's usually a lot of chatter between the COs in the previous Advance Wars games. And since Dual Strike you get to choose a CO most of the time, they didn't really program a lot of chatter between the two COs. So that's probably one reason why those the villains seem so weak. There's just not a whole lot of game chatter. There's good attacks there. Tank hits tank. Hits the artillery, joins there. Of course, being in range of this artillery as well. Lin is down to 30,000. I think it's one of those cases where I'm just not going to back out of the game, even though players already lost. Yeah, Von Bolt. I mean, a lot of concepts in Days of Ruin or Dual Strike was interesting, where they're draining life from the land. That's definitely interesting, but it never really had a good payoff. A lot of captures along the flank. Yeah, this game's ultimately over. Rig, mech, infantry, and battlecopter. Good shot there. Does seal the tank there, but of course this game's ultimately over. If anything, Dr. Eggman Extractor did the same thing, but it was more interesting overall. You know, I'm not sure. I haven't really played too many Sonic games, so I can't really say for sure. Medium tank, medium tank. I just remember that almost like all those Sonic games are not great or buggy as all hell. Nope, pops CO power. Needs a battlecopter to hit the unit there, blocks a base, and looks like not enough steam to take him out this turn, but Movio captures the properties and just ends his turn, not move everything else. And deletes him, kills himself. Either way, this is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay.